Joined by today's winner of the Brickyard 400, driver of the #1 Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boat Chevrolet, Jamie McMurray. Currently, Jamie is 16th in points, 151 out of 12th. Jamie is now the third driver to win both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year. Other drivers who've done it are Dale Jarrett in '96 and Jimmy Johnson in '06. Jamie, tell us about your day.
Well, we started first off, the 42 car had a great tire test here, and it gave us a really good starting point, and qualifying went well. So, I think everybody saw last year that or the past few years that track position is key to running well here. And so after qualifying, we felt like if we could just keep our track position, that we'd be okay. And honestly, our times were pretty good in practice, but I didn't feel like our car handled that well. And Bono just kept preaching to me that, he's like, there's just not going to be a tremendous amount of passing. He's like, we got enough speed to maintain if we can just keep our track position all day. And, we had a third or fourth place car. Felt like we didn't feel like we had, a dominant car. But we had a really smart race, and we didn't make any mistakes. And I think Bono did a really good job with taking two tires. And I don't know if you guys know, but it was a really big risk for us because I really thought that I had a flat left front. And I'm glad that we were pitted towards the end of pit road because it gave us a little time to kind of work it out. And Bono was like, well, if you think you have a flat, we need to do 4. But I just, I was like, I don't know. And I do know that 4 tires probably will not give us a track position that we need when it comes down to the end of this. So he made a really good decision to just stick with 2 tires. And when I got out front, I honestly didn't think that anybody would catch me. The 29 hadn't been as good as us all day. And I thought that I'd be able to drive away from him, but my car got really tight. And then Kevin got up underneath me, and I kind of let him go because I was going to try to cross over going into one. And as soon as I let off the gas, the caution came out. And I thought, that it's pretty frustrated. And I thought I'm going to give it all I have on this last restart to make up for what I've lost right here. Because when you get down to the end of one of these races, especially for us, we finished second 2 or 3 times and come so close to winning, you don't want to give that up. But when Kevin gave me the outside, I thought that was my only chance. And on the restart, we both spun the tires really, really bad. But when I got down to turn 1, my car just had a lot more grip than it did the run before. I don't know if the air pressure had built up a little bit. I worked my tires in really, really hard under the yellow to get the pressure built up. And man, I just had way more grip that last run than I did the run before that.
We're also joined by today's winning crew chief, Kevin Bono Mannion. Kevin, talk about the race from your view on top of the box.
Well, it was a long day, and it was a long 11 laps there at the end. But track position. A couple weeks ago at Chicago, we talked about sat on a pole and just maintained track position and had an opportunity to win. And after happy hour yesterday, we made a 12-lap run, which is takes about 15 minutes here, 20 minutes time in and out of garage, and we looking at all the laps after the race and after practice rather, in the lounge. And Jamie says, "Can we win?" I said, "Absolutely." We had enough speed to where if you put us in the right position, there was no one going to pass you because passing is at a premium here, and track position is at a premium, and passing is so difficult. Good cars can pass. We saw that last year with the 20 and the 48. But, there at the end, it was on schedule to go green the whole way, and you just knew there was going to be a caution. And, it gave it opened that door, it opened that opportunity to take 2 of 4. And, that was probably the right call at 2 today. And a lot of times, I actually said in a team meeting this morning, 4 tires will win this race, even though we thought we were going to take 2, even in our strategy to get out front. But all in all, great day, and real happy to be here.
And also joined by team owner, partner, Felix Sabatis. Felix, another big day in Indy. Your thoughts on the day?
Did somebody say 11 laps? I thought it was 100 laps. But it felt like it anyway.
Me too.
No, I think Bono made a great call. I was listening to Jamie. He thought he had a flat tire, and I go, and I think it was one of the things that Jamie was lucky we were at the end of pit road. He was able to figure out we didn't have a flat tire and making that 2-tire call. it was the right way to go because the one car that finished in third place, Biffle, he was the first car on Ford Tower. He got behind the 29 car. He couldn't pass him. In this place here, if you didn't get up front, you were screwed. And that was a great call you guys made, so congratulations.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open up to questions from the media. Again, as a courtesy, state your name and affiliation. And before we do that, one interesting note, Jamie. You are now the top trending topic on Twitter, so congratulations for that. We'll start with Ed. Put your hands up, and I'll get you in the queue.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Jamie, Kevin Harvick was just in here a while ago, and he said something about what you have accomplished 2/3 of with Chip, the Daytona 500, this race, and the Indy 500 all in 1 year. He said pretty simply, he said, this will probably never happen again. What's your response to that?
Well, it most likely won't. I think it's very hard to have. I mean, Chip is just having such a year between the NASCAR side and the IndyCar side, and I think it's
American,
yeah. And I'll be honest. The thing that I think of the most is that they almost won the 24 Hours of Daytona. I think they finished second. But I just don't. It's just so hard to get both organizations good at the same time. And then this race, the Daytona 500 and the Indy 500 are races of strategy, and you see guys dominate those races and not win. So it's just remarkable what he's been able to put together and the people he's been able to hire. I feel very very honored to get to be a part of that accomplishment.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Congratulations,
Thanks.
both of you, all of you. You were not the guy that all the fanfare was surrounding coming into this weekend. I mean, certainly Chip, but Juan was a guy, and you're so humble that it never seemed to bother you. You just kind of went out and did the job. I mean, can you just talk about the emotions? Because at Daytona you said this is like a dream come true. Well, now you're here winning the second biggest race of the year, and it's like, what was going through your mind at the end of all of that?
Well, I'll tell you to start with, I saw Christy walk in just now, and it reminded me of something. I didn't sleep the night before qualifying, and neither did Bono, because we thought it was going to be such a big deal to get to be on the pole at the Brickyard 400. And I talked to him the next morning, and I'm like, I didn't sleep at all last night. I ran 200 qualifying laps in my head trying to get like a rhythm down, and he's like, I didn't sleep either. He's like, I was looking at notes at 11:30 at night. And we qualified fourth, and I was really torn up over that. And it's not because Juan had the pole. I thought that we had a legitimate shot at it. And I went back to the motorhome, and I was talking to Christy, and I was like, I'm really, really torn up that I'm not going to be on the pole here. I'm like, we've been so good at qualifying, and Christy doesn't ever give her opinion of anything to do with racing. And she's like, heck with the pole. She's like, win the race. And so that's the first thing I thought of after when I won. I'm like, yeah, she had a good point. I'm like I'm pretty happy right now. So. It's just remarkable to get to be here, and I'm a big believer in fate, and I really believe that this was Juan's weekend. He had a really good tire test here, and he ran so well last year and had a chance to win the race. And I just think that things normally work themselves out, and then when I'm looking with 15 or 20 laps to go, and Juan's leading, and I'm running second. And not that I was content, but I was like, if this is the way it's supposed to be, then it's just the way it is. And then I was like, I'm going to be really happy for Chip and Juan and everyone at our team, because this is really big. I mean, it's just a major accomplishment what we've all been able to put together, and that team, the 42 team, has had some really good cars, and they just have had some bad luck and gotten put in bad positions. So. It was just, that was unfortunate for them.